Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is May the 1st, 2018, and I'm in Portland, Oregon. Strong hand, long-term thinking, value your wealth in Bitcoin. All right. So it's late where you are. It's still Tuesday here on the West Coast, and I'm happy to be in the West Coast. Speaking of the West Coast, check out the link section below. You can watch the end of my Los Angeles Century City talk. It was uploaded earlier today, so some of you have seen it, but always check out the link section below. Everything that I talk about is linked to down there, and the archives are down there. Get your Trezor, Ledger Nano. We're going to talk about that in a second. T-shirts. Ooh, all right. I'd like to thank Tony in Denver. He took me to the airport today, and we had a great conversation. This dude is in motion. He's been in Bitcoin for a little while. He told me about some mistakes he made, but he learned from them, and he is set. But he made an interesting observation. He thought that Bitcoin could be as big or bigger than agriculture. You know, man going from hunter-gatherers to creating agriculture. I mean, could Bitcoin take humanity to a new level like that? I had never heard anyone say that before. The Bitcoin bigger than agriculture thing, and it makes you think. You know, it's. I mean, if it is, wow, we're in for a great future, aren't we? The people who are in on this now, and yeah, I would love Bitcoin to take humanity to a new level that we cannot even imagine in terms of freedom, financial freedom. Maybe it will. Maybe this will be just a new financial paradigm, just like agriculture was a new living paradigm. Definitely a new way of life. Who knows? This is just the tip of the iceberg, people. We're so early on this, but I give Tony credit for that creative thought. All right. So speaking of people I met in Denver, I'm wearing this hoodie now because it's a little chilly here in my friend Shane's house, and it's a little chilly outside in Portland. But this hoodie that I'm wearing that I really like a lot, the guys at Cryptoid Shop gave this to me, and the dude had come in from Arizona. We're on there. They have a blog there, okay? And it's an incredible entry that I linked to below that I want to read excerpts from. Bitcoin is it's just talking about how big Bitcoin, the opportunity Bitcoin is for this generation, okay? And just all these awesome long-term aspects of Bitcoin for 20%ers who are patient and not impulsive. So he says, the first thing he says, my landlord would, well, no, this is the first quote. My landlord would be a fool not to accept my rent payment in Bitcoin. And I would be a fool to pay my rent with Bitcoin. I really like that one. Hey, everyone, if you really like that one, pound that like button and subscribe to this channel. Check out the links below. All right, more from this article, and this deals with real estate. When I first got into real estate in New York City, I heard many stories and have personally met people who bought a building for $1 back in the 1980s, and even still severely underpriced New York City real estate throughout the 1990s. Well, it's hard to see here. Incredibly ridiculous does it sound today to buy an entire building in the East Village for $1 and having everyone you know telling you how out of your mind you were. Believe it or not, that was the situation back then. Were these people out of their mind, Are us Bitcoiners out of our minds? Here is the situation today. Those same New York buildings are easily selling for prices between $6 and $20 million. That's insane, yet that's the reality. If you told someone in 1985 that the townhouse you bought for $1 was going to be worth $12 million in 30 years, you'd have endured absolute ridicule. Yes, you were right. All right, people. So New York City real estate, that is the primo real estate, Manhattan real estate in the world, basically, in the United States, definitely. And there was a time when people fudded it out. They thought it was terrible, how it's so horrible here. But there were people, they were long-term thinkers that knew this is New York City, baby. There's only one New York City. And this real estate is going to be worth quite a lot. And it really paid off. And just like there's only one New York City, there's only one Bitcoin, okay? You know, or in the 70s and 80s, you also could have bought $1 Baltimore row houses, and you could have done really well with them. They're worth like, you know, $400,000, $500,000 out, some of them. But again, there's only one New York City. So you've got your altcoins. You could probably do well with some of these altcoins too in the long run, but there's only one Bitcoin. And it takes, you know, when everyone is saying, you know, you're crazy to get into this Bitcoin thing, you're crazy to get into this cryptocurrency thing. I mean, look what they were saying about New York real estate. I love how this guy tied it all together in there. I brought up the Baltimore thing on my own just to, you know, tie altcoins into this. And this author, you know, they make great shirts too. He specifically says, you know, Bitcoin is the king. You know, there are these altcoins, but he's specifically talking about Bitcoin. All right. So I'm at my friend Shane's place. I'll be here for 2 days. Then I'll be in Northwest Portland until the 10th. And, you know, Shane has got, I know he's a friend of mine who's actually gotten into cryptocurrency, but he got into altcoin trading first. And he showed me some of the platforms, some things I have not seen because I am not an actual altcoin trader. And it's freaky. I mean, I can see how young guys can get caught up in this type of thing and can get way carried away. He hasn't gotten carried away, but he didn't value his wealth in Bitcoin at first, but he's learned his lesson. He's trying to, you know, save more in Bitcoin. But also, you know, he led me into the world of how they get these pump tips and they're all these gurus. And it just reminds me again that some of these coins, they're going to pump again for no real good reasons other than the herd getting behind them. And, you know, a lot of these traders are just members of a herd, and there's sometimes a leader of their pack that'll say, this one's the next one, and they will all pile in. And as 20%ers, we just have to hold our crypto dividends and, you know, wait around until they get pumped up by these people. And if you happen to have an altcoin, then wait there, it's going to get pumped up again if it's down. I mean, this is all cyclical stuff that is being very much pumped up by 80%ers that are caught up in this trading thing. It's best just to hold Bitcoin in the long run. It's best just to, you know, not to deal with these crazy altcoin cycles, but they do get the top tier ones get all repumped again. Now, some of these bottom tier ones, there's no guarantee they'll be back. Also, he showed me his Ledger Nano S, right? His Ledger Nano S. And we were playing around with it. And I just got to say, guys, the Trezor is better. I mean, I prefer the Trezor. You know, you have to, with the Ledger Nano S, you got to, all these downloads you got to do for different coins. And I don't know, these apps, you got to download different apps. I just not very comfortable. It wasn't very, it wasn't smooth. It wasn't working right at first, what he was trying to do. Trezor, hey, I mean, and I know there are fans of the Ledger out there. Great. It's not going to blow up or anything like that. It's number 2. Trezor is number 1, people. I mean, I see evidence, you know, when I start to play around with these things and talk to people too, it's reinforced. Trezor, in my opinion, is the best one. But hey, you make your own decision. The Bprivate Reddit asked me anything. I linked to that below. It was very informative. They talk about RET some, but it was very informative if you're a Bprivate, if you're interested in what they're about to do. Now, I did yesterday. We were talking about Hit BTC listing Bprivate, and I was a little bit ahead there because Hit BTC has the Bprivate wallet set up now, okay, but it's in maintenance, so you can't trade there yet. So I was not clear, but people did get excited. You know, if Hit BTC suddenly has a Bprivate wallet in maintenance, yeah, the next step is it's going to be listed. You're going to be able to trade it on there. So people were buying the news, which was basically the rumor that any second now it's going to be listed. Well, any second hasn't happened. It listed for trading. Any second they're going to be trading on it. Well, that hasn't happened yet. Maybe it's happened when I'm doing this show. I don't know. But they're on the verge. I mean, they have it, that the wallet is there for the world to see. It's just in maintenance. All right. Rocky Palumbo, a guest on this show out in California, and 21 Million Club, another great guest. They informed me, well, 21 Million informed me that they had a funny little page called the 10 Commandments of Bitcoin. I linked to it below. Good job, guys, being in motion. What else do we have? Andreas Antonopoulos. I linked to a video of he explains what a fork is, and it's good. He gets down to some basic explanations and different ways of thinking of it. I thought it was a good video. You can check it out if you're interested in going toward the technical side of things there. And I got a photo that someone took, and I think they posted this actually on the Bprivate Reddit. But it shows that Hit BTC charges a lot to get listed on there, okay? And they have a bonus package where you could pay them 2.5 Bitcoin for them to mention your coin in social media, your altcoin, your crypto dividend, whatever, in social media, including a Twitter tweet. Oh my God. I mean, it's very, it shows some behind the scenes stuff. If this is a true actual photo of the agreement, it's illuminating. It's if true. Vinny Lingham has a tweet out there, and I'm going to tell you why this is important. He says, all I keep hearing is Bcash is an infested cesspool of lawless leadership, leaderless, disrespectful, narcissistic, greedy, scammy, capitalistic anarchist that will never create digital money. I swear I'm getting deja vu. So Vinny is basically alluding to what people used to say about Bitcoin, and now he's saying that they're saying it about Bcash. Now he's coming up with this because of these lawsuit threats against Bitcoin.com. And, you know, I don't necessarily agree with Vinny, what he wrote there, but it definitely can be interpreted that's what's going on. And then you make the connection to like, oh, this is just like what Bitcoin went through. And then you can make the connection, oh, well, it's the new Bitcoin, obviously. And if someone like Vinny's saying it, then pointing this out, then I'm going to have to think about it. I'm going to have to consider it. And so with all there's a price to pay for the paying too much attention to Bcash and kind of painting the people behind it in this way. And King of the Trolls is going to pick up on people like Vinny saying that, interpreting this way, and he's going to go with it. He's going to go with it and say, you know what? The way they're treating us now, it's just like the way they treated Bitcoin. Or he'll probably say us, you know, back in 2012, the way the mainstream said, you know, that we were these wild people out of control and they were threatened by us. Clearly, people were threatened by Bcash. And he's going to try to create sympathy for Bcash, building off of, saying, we're the. I'm trying to say to you guys that this is not the case, that the Bcash situation is not the old Bitcoin situation. Okay. But if you keep on prodding at them and poking at them, there are going to be more voices like Vinny's, and I don't agree with it, that are going to paint it this way. And King of the Trolls is going to jump on it and try to gain sympathy and try to be the victim. And it's just not good. So ignore them. Ignore that, or just treat them like another altcoin, as I do. Don't consider them a threat. Don't feel threatened. Don't act threatened by them. Don't think you have to bring in the government, because then they're going to draw the, how haters of Bitcoin in 2012 and 2013 were saying similar things like, oh, these are anarchists. Let's sue them, or let's find a way to make them illegal. Okay, and finally, the great Jayant Bhandari has a new video out there, and the story of India's demonetization, how removal of 80% of the monetary value of the currency led to massive chaos in India, increase in corruption, and sending the economy into trauma. It destroyed the economy not only for those 3 months. Okay, so I linked to that video, and it's a good video, and I share it because it just shows you how vicious governments can be with their fiat, and how it can, if you are stuck in that fiat currency paradigm in some third world country that can suddenly do what India did, you're in trouble, and you should have Bitcoin as insurance. If more people in India would have had Bitcoin, they would not have had to stand in these lines and deal with this government corruption and just totally get their wealth stolen from them because of a decision by a sociopathic leader in India, and just the corruption in India that this shows, this exposes. It's horrible. And corruption, I'm not going to pick on India, but he picks on India. I mean, he knows India. He was there. Jayant was there on the ground, and he gives real life stories about what he saw. And I'm saying that if you're in a country where you think this can happen, and if it can happen in a country of 1 billion freaking people, it can happen anywhere. And so Bitcoin is a good insurance policy. So you don't have to deal with this. So you don't get trapped in such a very uncomfortable situation where you suddenly have to get rid. Your cash is illegal. Your bills are illegal now, and you got to go to the bank. You got to find a way to get into their new system. If you had Bitcoin, you'd be laid back, and your wealth would have been preserved, and you wouldn't have been robbed like Jayant describes. All right, everyone, pound that like button. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video. Do check out the notes section below. I am going to go check out the chat to say hi to you guys. Bye.